schema. So, so you guys like revised the PPT of the last class? Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, we
So
revised the topic.
okay. So in the last section, we learned how to select a DOM element, isn't it? There are two ways mostly. One is single selector, another is multi-selector. So we can either select a single element from the DOM or we can also select multiple elements, isn't it? If there are multiple elements, then we learned how we can apply CSS to it using array.from and then looping it through for each loop. Okay, and if it is a single element, then we can directly apply all the CSS and everything. Okay, the same. It's similar. The selectors are similar to what we have in the CSS only. Same way, if you guys remember. So today we will see how to do this DOM traversing, how we can add new element inside the DOM, how we can remove element from the DOM, how we can replace some elements from the DOM. Okay, so we can traverse the child and parent etc. using DOM manipulation that we have already seen in the last class. Hmm. So now what we can see that we learned query selector to select single elements. Using query selector, we can either select a ID, we can select a class, and we can select the tag also. But the class and tag you will only get the, suppose if the class name is shared with five element, then it will only select the first element of that class and it will ignore all other four. Okay, so you have already seen some, these things, document.query query selector and all those things. So now child node property inside a new, let's see child nodes and children. I think I already taught you this child difference between child node and children. Okay, you will see here. So so here you can see that we have this default container. Okay, the outermost element, isn't it? So what we have searched here, document.query selector container, and we are looking for its child node. Okay, for the container. So you can see when we are searching for child node, what it is coming, the first thing is text. But here, what is the first child node of container? Can you guys tell me?
First child.
Yeah, first child. This div is the child of the container of this div, whose class name is container, isn't it? But in the console, you can see we are not getting this div. We are getting this text. We are getting this div first child at the after this text. Why are we getting this text here instead of this div first child? Is that whenever we use child node, that time, whenever there is a new line, you can see after this tag we have a new line. Okay, then after line number 11 we are going to line number 12. So then there is a new line, and if we are using child node, then it will count the new line as a node, as a text node. So what child node, what child node does is that it will count a new line or a comment, etc., as a text node. Okay, suppose if I will write here some comment. I'm writing. I'm commenting this. Now you can see at the zeroth element we have text, at the first element we have first child. And is this visible now, guys? Now you can see the changes. Can you see now first we have zero as text element, then we are getting comment, then again we are getting text, then at the third index we are getting first child. Can you see the difference? Observe the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened this time is after this div container, we have a new line, and since we are using child node, so it will take new line as a text element. Then we have this comment. So at the 1th index, we are getting comment. After comment, again there is a one line, then there is another new line. Then it is again taking it as a text node. So for that, you can see what we have if we'll use child node. First, we will have a new line, then it will show a text node, then we have a comment, then it will show comment node, then again we have a new line, then again it will show another text node, then it will show the first child. Is this clear? Then again after first child, there is one new line, then again text is coming. You got this point, now? What child node does?
Yes.
Yeah. Instead of child node, if you want to ignore this text, comment, and everything, then instead of child node, you can use children. Okay. Instead of child node, if you use children, so now you can see you are not getting any kind of text or comment. You are directly getting the zeroth first child element, then child one, child two, child three, isn't it? So whenever mostly what we will be using, we will be using this children property only instead of child node, because here we ignore all the comments and the new lines and everything. Is this clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes. So, Andrew, what are the two ways we can like select multiple elements of a DOM?
By class and tag.
By class and tag. Okay, fine. Hmm. So this you understood here in the note I have written this, that child node properties consider new line as a text node, and it also counts the comment as a node. If you want to ignore all this, then you can use children property. Mostly we use children property. Okay, mostly what we will be using, we will be using this children property only instead of child node. Then again, you can see we can use node name and node type also. Okay, we can see what node name means. Suppose if you have found like here we have children. Okay, and suppose if you want to see what is my only first zeroth index element node name or something like that, that also you can check. dot node name, node name or names. So you can see what we are getting at the node name div means what is our first child node name. It is a div element. You got my point?
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, if you want to search for one, you can change it here one, and you can check that also. So one is also div. Now instead of children, if we will use a child node, then what will come at the zeroth element? Can anyone tell me? What will be the output for this one? Look at the code here and tell me. I have selected this one, and now I'm searching for the node name of first child. What will be the output?
Text.
Zana, are you there?
Yes.
What will be the output for this?
Can you show that?
Oh,
We
it's
are
the,
not.
it's the children, right?
Okay. Can you show that page again?
Right now, I'm in the code page only. You're not able to see my Visual Studio code or what?
No, that HTML page.
What do you want to see? HTML page?
And that will be child, first child, children.
Yeah, it's the first child.
Yeah, I'm using here. Instead of children, right now, I want to use here child node. Now you can see what it will be here.
The text.
Text for Andrew. What for you, Jana?
I'm
You
not
both
sure.
are not in the same page.
Text for me as well.
Text for you as well. Yeah, it will come text. Why? Because child node will get the first element as a text node because it's a, you can see here we are getting text because it will count new line. So I think this is clear the difference between child node and children. Okay, and you can use this node name property to know what exactly that node is, whether it's a text, whether it's a comment, whether it's a div or a span or paragraph text, whatever it is that you can find using this node name property. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. So we have node type also. Okay. So for each node name, we have some type, which is not in a sequential order. Okay. For example, for any element type in a node we will see one node type. If we are checking for its attribute, then the node type will be two. Okay. If we are looking for a text node, then it will give us three. Means whenever you will search for a node type, and if it becomes three, then you should understand that it's a what we say, it's a text node or something like that. Okay. For example, here instead of node name, if you will look for node type, what should be the output? Look at this chart and tell me what will be the output.
3.
3. Yeah, because we are using child node, and in child node we are getting text as the first element. So node type currently you are getting 3. Got my point? If you will look for the what we say third index, then what it will be? What will be the third?
So it will be div. Can you show it again? Slide.
What it will be? Any element,
I
whether be
I
it
think
div, span, it is
one.
over. Yeah.
One.
Yeah. You can see we are getting one there. You got my point? Is this clear, guys? Bro, you guys need to use it regularly. Like after this, we will learn Windows object, then we will be making one project. In that project will be completely related to whatever we learned to till now, like arrays, function, and this DOM. These three are the important topic for that. So before going to that, build that project, please revise this concept again, okay? Because that project you guys have to only develop. I will see only. I will just give you the output inputs, and I will see how you guys develop that project. Okay. We can also traverse to the child of the child nodes like these things. Okay, it's like we can like chain it, and we can see what is the another side of that. Like for example, suppose if you will go to our code base, and if you see here, we have this div. Again, this id first child has this one as a what we say, inside this div we have this ul element. What it means? It means that this ul element is a child of this div, isn't it? If we are closing this div, then that ul is also getting collapsed. So we can search for this ul also using this container. For example, here first we have searched for children. Instead of child node, we can use children. And what will be the children zero element? That first child, isn't it? And again, if I want to see if this children means, if I want to see ul, then again I can check it. Okay, so you can see we are getting ul here, isn't it? Again, if you want to see the first child of this one, then again you can write the same thing. Again, we can do this, then you will get the first li. Can you see we are getting this first li? So we can chain. This is the point. If you want to see beyond this, that also you can see what we will get. Look, it's showing we don't have any child of this element. Cannot read properties of undefined. Reading children means we don't have any children, because what children property will do? Children property will only take the HTML elements. Are you getting my point? It won't take, it will ignore. Instead of now, if instead of this children node, now if we will use child node, what we are getting, nothing is there. Are you getting my point?
Mm-hmm.
So this way we can traverse, like we can do chaining of DOM traverse. Okay, so we can chain it as long as we want. Then again, we have like what we say. If we will check for first child, then it is takes the same thing, because it considered new line as a text. If you want to ignore the new line comment, etc., then you can use first element child. Yeah. Now we have one property called first child. So we can check for directly the first child of any element. Okay. So for example, now we have this container selected. I hope this HTML code is with you guys, isn't it? want to check the first child of this container element. What is the first child? What is the first child of this container? This div, isn't it? Line number 13.
Yeah.
So now if I will search for its first child, console.log, now we have already selected this container in a way and we have stored it in a variable called count. Okay, so what we can say, count dot we can look for this first child. But what it will show instead of this div, it will show as a first child, it will show a text. Okay, let's see. So you can see we are getting text instead of this div first child. Why? Because again, this is same as child node. This first child will also consider the new line as a new node called text. Okay, same thing. If we are using this, so to ignore this, what we can do to ignore the this new line and comments, we can use first element child instead of first child. So you can see when we are searching for first element child, then we are getting this one, div is first child, ID first child. Are you getting this?
Yes.
Can you see in the console we are getting this div called first child? Zana, is this clear to you? Hello.
Yes, it's clear.
Yeah. What is clear to you? Can you explain once what you understood?
So whenever we want to get a first children, or there are two ways, children and child. And if we want to get children, for example, we can do is
Your
the
your
index.
voice is not coming properly. Are you traveling somewhere?
Yes, I am on my way home.
Yeah, then fine, no issues. Okay. So this is done. You understood the difference between first child and first child element child. Similarly, we have last child and last element child. It will also do the same. Okay. If you will search for the last child, then it will count the new line as well as command. On the another hand, if you use last element child, then it won't count any new element. You can check this also. Similar to this first child. Last child will give us the last child of that element, but it will count the new line as well as text also. And if you will use last element child, then it will only calculate. Then it will only count the elements. You are getting my point? Element. Here we are writing last element child. And what I told you in the node type, we have this element type, which node type is one. So it will ignore this attribute, it will ignore this text node, it will ignore this comment. If you will use element, then it will only source the element part of it. Element, when we say element, what does it mean? It means all the tags of HTML, like h1, div, span, paragraph tag, any tag. So it will only calculate the elements. Is this clear, guys? So
Yeah.
similarly, you can do check for the last child also, last element child also. Okay. Look, I skip sometimes few of the properties, but it's you guys it's like your duty to test everything after the session. So go through it every time through the properties. Okay. And we can see child element count also, like how many children we have for this. Like if you want to see how many children it has element, then you can do that also. You can write how many children it. So if you want to count, then you have to write child. And you see it's showing 4. Means what it says that what we are looking for count. Huh? It is saying that it has 4 child. Can you see how many child it has? It will only count for the direct childs. Okay. So for this div, we have first this div as a child, then Is it this D is child? Okay. Yeah, we have this D is a child. Then there is another child. This is another child. This is another child. Can you guys see the number of children element? How we can check that from here? If you will see for this. We will see what we are getting here and is the count is 4 or not. So when we are checking, how many are you getting? 0, 1, 2, 3. First child, child 11, and then this and that. Okay. So how many, what is the length? 4. Similarly, you can see when we are searching for how many child nodes we have 4 child nodes. Is this clear, guys?
Yes.
So similarly, we can check for the what we say parent node also. For example, if we have seen here first element child or children anything. So this is the first element child, suppose. First element child, and instead of like what we say console, we can. Okay. So what we are doing currently, we are storing the first child into it. And now what we can do first, we will see what we are getting in the first. So can you see what we are getting? We are getting this first child. What we search for first element child. Okay. So what is the first element child? What we get here is a div with first child and classes are child, red and gold. These three are the class names. So if we have to search for its parent, then we can do that also. Like we can write here first dot parent. If you want to search what is the parent node of this child, whatever element we have selected, if you want to see the parent node of this, then we are getting div container. Means we have one div and we are getting dot container. Dot means class, whose class name is container. Is this clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Can you repeat it?
So if you want to check for the parent node of any element that you have selected, then you can use parent node. What we did here in line number 52, we have already selected this count. What is this count? A query using query selector.
Okay.
We have searched, so then we found count. And what we are after that, what we did, we searched for the first element child of this count, and we assigned that child to a variable called first. Then we
I
are doing console log first, and then we did what is the, if we want to find out the parent node of this first, then we are writing first dot parent. Okay. Any
okay.
questions? You can ask. Just give me a second. Hello. Hello. Audible?
Yes.
Any question till here, guys?
No.
No. So similarly we have one like next sibling also that will tell what is the next sibling of. For example, if you will see here for this div container, you can see this div starts from here and getting closed here. Okay, so till br tech. So how many child it has? It has this first child. Again, this is the second child, this is the third child, this is the fourth child. Okay, if you will collapse the div, then you can see before this br tag it is getting closed here. Okay, so how many child it has? The first child is that this is the first child. Again, yeah, this div first child has this ul as a child. Then again we have another div as a child for the div container. Then we have this is the third child for the div container, this is the fourth child of the div container. Okay, so if you will look for the first element child, then we will get this div. Okay, after that if we look for its sibling, like what is the next sibling of this div, then we can, what we will get, we will get this child element, isn't it? This is the next sibling. Sibling means those who share the common parent. So this div and this div shared container div is the parent, so they are sibling in each other. So you can find this element. After that you can look for another siblings of this element also. Okay, so we can check this here. So now you can get, this is the first child we are getting as a first element child of the container D. Now if you want to see the next sibling of this element, then you can search here next. And you can see every time we are following camel case, keep in mind, okay? So that it will be easy for you guys to code later on. So what we are getting text. Why we are getting text again? Because next sibling will count new line as a text. For example, if you not for clarity, you can see this. For this div container, this is the first element child. So we first, what we did first, we first capture this child. Okay. After that, we are looking for this code exists. This div started line number 13 and ends at line number 21. So after that, if I want to search for the next sibling element, then what should I get? I should get this one. But we are not searching for next element sibling. We are searching for next sibling. So next sibling will take this new line also. And new line is always considered as a text node. So that's why we are getting text node. Now, if you want to ignore this, then again what you can do, instead of using this next sibling, you can use next element sibling. It will only take the elements. So now you can, what you are seeing, div ID with child 11 and class child. So you can check whether we are getting this one or not. So we are getting this one set as a next sibling, child 11 and class is child. Okay. Similarly, if you want to see for, you can change this also. If you want to look for this, then again you can look for the next element, element sibling for this one. Then again you can look for this one. Let me show you. So if you will write here again, next element. So suppose if you want to search for the first child, and like if you want, if you're looking for next sibling of the first child next sibling, then you can change it also. We already have a next sibling of first child. Then you can see currently we are getting child and red. So here in index.html, it is child and red. Child 3. Are you guys writing code along with me or not? Or just watching?
I'm just watching.
Yeah, you shared code yesterday, so we have it.
You guys are not coding along with me. Is this a movie going on or what?
No, we just watch.
reset code, with me at that time, then only you will get some error or something, then you can ask. Okay. I hope I give sufficient time to read this. You understood this thing, next sibling and next element sibling?
Yes.
Okay. And also, like after this, also, if you want to look for the node name or something, then you can write here directly. Like instead of next sibling, if you want to see the node name of this, then you can search it. Or node type, whatever you want to see. Okay. So you can see we are getting this diff. Like it. So same here, again said, we are getting text here because it is considering new line as a text node. So we will use next element sibling to ignore new line of command. So whenever we introduce element in the middle, it means that it will only count the elements. When we say element, its node type is one, and what is an element? It is all the tags of HTML. Okay, like div, span, paragraph, all the tags. Then what we have? Okay, we have already covered this. Now, how we can create an element and how we can replace the element in these things we will learn. You understood the traversing completely. Now, how we can traverse, how we can do how we can do chaining of traversing. First, we can go to a child, then we can look for another child, and then we can look for a sibling. Like we can do in multiple ways. So you understood how we can do child nodes and chaining, how we can traverse the DOM, and how we can do traversing using using method chaining. Is this clear, guys?
Yes.
Now my point is that suppose if you don't want to write here some HTML code, okay? Mm, what is there? Suppose I want to insert here one more li. Okay, I want to insert here one more li. Okay, something like this. Okay, then what I can, instead of writing this, I can directly insert this thing using DOM also. What I can do, I can create one element of li, then I can insert it at this place. Are you getting my point? This is also I can do. Instead of writing this code, I can do this using DOM also. Is this clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so what we can do in the, you tell me. And
Yes. Use the method.
yeah, what we can do using DOM. What you understood from the DOM? My first question is that what you understood by DOM, like why it is important.
Like to locate the element and perform some action on it.
Basically, DOM, look, without what is DOM, you can see whenever we do this refresh now, that time it creates the, whenever we will refresh, are you getting my point? Whenever we will refresh, it will create a new DOM tree structure. Only when, as you can see, whenever we refresh, then only we get this div. Again, if I do some changes in the code, then again, if I refresh only, then only you get the changes. Isn't it? Are you able to understand this? That whenever we refresh, then only we can see the changes in the console or in the HTML element. What does it mean? The DOM will render. When DOM will render? On refresh. Okay. So now why that React.js or Angular or Vue.js, all this like JavaScript libraries are so famous? Because those are called as single page application. What happens in the single page application? Like if you will go from this tab to next tab, then it won't refresh. Okay, let me show you some common example. If you are going to a NASA website, so you can see if I go to this new events here, look at this refresh button. Can you see it's become close right now? It's doing refresh. Can you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
So if I go to newsletter, then again it will refresh. Can you guys see this? Isn't it? But if we will go to suppose facebook.com, okay, and if we will try to log in, then look, right now it is refreshing here, okay. But when we will like, have you ever used this Facebook? Then you must have known that it never refresh. Whenever some new notification comes, it you don't have to refresh to see if there is a new notification or not. You can see automatically, isn't it? Or whether be it Instagram. So what is what happens in React, that it doesn't re-render completely. What happens in the when we use HTML JavaScript? What is the I'm just trying to explain you what is the role of their DOM in actual world, in actual scenario, how DOM actually works. Okay, so whenever the DOM tree will get bent, like here, as I showed you that the DOM tree, how it looks like, whatever we write code that come here in the form of tree like structure. So whenever it DOM render, then only we get this output. Are you getting my point? What is the meaning of render? Render means to present something. So whenever DOM will get whenever this DOM tree get ready, then only we get this HTML and everything CSS, whether be it JavaScript. Okay, without DOM tree, we can't see these things. So based on DOM tree, browser understand, okay, I have to display this thing in this way manner. So what React application does, that it doesn't re-render every time the DOM. How we have to do every time refresh to see the changes. Na? So this is when React comes into a play or Angular comes into a play, that you don't have to refresh to see the changes. What it does internally, for example, React uses one virtual DOM. Okay, these things we will discuss when we go for the React. Okay, leave it for now. You just understood the concept. What is whenever we have to see the changes, the whatever the code in the code we made, we have to re-render our application, isn't it? This is the case of like this is the use case of DOM tree. Like to display anything of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, the DOM this DOM should be created, and using this DOM structure, this browser shows us this designs. Okay, is this clear, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
So now we will see this three things, that how we can create an element, remove an element, and replace an DOM elements. Okay. So creating an element, we have two ways. One is create element, and another is create text node. So by name, you should understand. When we say create element, what does it mean? It will create a element. And when we say element, what does it mean? I already explained you. Element means any of the uh, HTML tag, whether be div, you can create a div element, you can create a span element, you can create an unordered list, you can create a break tag, whatever you want, you can create. Okay, and text node, you already seen that it has some text, isn't it? Okay. Now what we can do? What we can do? We have here this UL. This then what we can do? We can create one li, and first we will create one li. Okay. What we will create one element of this li list. Then what we can do? We can insert it inside this UL. Okay, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So for creating when you have to create an element li, then what you have to use? Create element, not text node. Text node is like inner text. I explained you this inner text, na? So you can consider create element as inner HTML and create text node as inner text. So using create text node, we can only create some text. Apart from that, we can't create anything. But using create element, you can create any kind of element, whether be it list, whether be it div or anything. Okay, and also after creating that element, if you want to provide it some class name, ID, or any styling, that also you can provide. Okay, so for example, here, where is it? Element name is the element. We are taking the variable name as element. Okay, for now. Okay. Now we can see this element. What is this element got created or not? What we can do, we can console log the element and we can check whether an element is created or not. So you can see I saved it, but still there is no changes. Whenever we will refresh, then only we can see the changes. Right now, you can see one element is created list. Is this, can you see this?
Mm-hmm.
So suppose, so as you can see, using this property called create element, you can create any element. Okay. Right now it is only element is created. We have not inserted it anywhere. Okay. So now what we can do before inserting it, right now you can see here we have only plain li. We can't see any class name to it. We can't see any ID to it. Okay. So what we can do, we can provide some class name and ID to it. Okay. What we can do, we can write element is equal to mm, dot class name. We'll save it. So you can see now, you can see there is one class came with created. Got it? It's
Yeah.
clear, guys. Similarly, you can assign ID name, you can assign color, whatever you want. For example, element dot ID. So now if you will refresh along with this class name, you will get one ID. So you can see we have class called created, one ID called anything. I hope this is clear to you guys. What is the use, how we can create an element. Okay, this is clear.
Yes.
Okay. So the same thing what we did here, we created one element, then we gave some ID to it. So we can also like style and everything that also you can do. But like earlier what we did, if you remember you guys, what we did here, we did dot style dot color. If you guys remember, we did this in the last class, isn't it? You guys remember these things? You can see we are getting here in the inline styling, we are getting style color rate, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You remember we did these things. So we have one property called set attribute. Okay, look, same thing we can achieve using this set attribute property also. Element dot set attribute. So setting individual inline CSS property. First argument will always be the key, and second argument will be the value. Like for example, first here you can see if I want to set some inline CSS, then what I'm using. In the first argument, I'm passing style property. As you can see here in the inline CSS, if you want to color something, then as in a key, we pass style, and then inside that we pass this value. Okay, so same thing we can do here. Instead of doing this, you can also do element, then it will take two parameters. Okay, what will be the first parameter? First parameter will be the key. Suppose I want to change its color. Okay, then what I have to do, I have to apply style tag inline CSS, if you guys remember. Then the first one will be here, right? First parameter, and second parameter will be what value you want to put into the style. Okay, I want to put one color. Okay, save it. So you can see now it's changed from style color red to green. You got this? Set attribute property. Using set attribute property, we can set any attribute. What is the attribute? These things are attribute, isn't it? This style is attribute, ID anything is attribute, class created is attribute. You guys know, for example, if I will ask about what are the attributes of IMG tag, image tag. So you guys can say that SRC is one attribute of image tag. Alt is the another attribute of image tag, isn't it? For example, if I ask you what are the attributes of div tag or span tag, then you can say that okay, font weight, font size, color, all these are the attributes of our, what we say, div tag, isn't it? Is this thing clear to you guys?
Yeah.
So you understood the set attribute properties, so isn't it? Then, like we can also change the inner text that I already showed you, isn't it? Right. For right now, you can see here, we don't have anything inside this. Okay. So what we can do, we can add any inner text into it, or we can also create one text node and we can insert it inside that. Okay. Let me show you. You can see here currently you are not seeing any kind of text. This li tag is starting, then again this li tag is getting close. When we started, there was nothing, neither class, id, style. It was just a tag. So then we added one class name, we added one id, then we using set attribute, we provided some color. Okay. Now what we have done, we have added some text to it. So inside this closing and opening bracket, we should see the text. So you can see currently we are seeing this text. This is a created element. Okay. Now what I will do, I will create another. You have learned how to what you have learned currently, how to create an element and how you can apply. How you can give class name to it, ID to it, how you can set the attribute. All these things you learned. Okay, isn't it?
Yeah.
So right now we have not learned how we can add this element inside our DOM tree, isn't it? We are still, our DOM tree currently is this HTML page, and we have not added this, whatever the element we have created. We have not added this in our HTML page here, so it won't come into the DOM tree. Right now we have just created it. We have not added it inside our code base. Okay, now. So you have seen, we have created. Now we will see how we can add that created node inside our HTML file. Okay, adding created node object to DOM, that is HTML file. Whatever the node we have created right now, li node, that we will that node object we will now insert our HTML file. For that we have a property called append child. Okay, we can, like, what we can do, we can append it in, we can append it as a child inside another element. You got my point? Right now, whatever the element I have created, I can append it. Like inside another element. For example, let me show you here. Now we have this ul element. Okay, I have created one li. Now I want to, like, put it as a child of ul. You are getting my point? So what I have to do, using any selector, either query selector or document.get element by id or anything, by using that, what I can do, I have to first select this element. Then after selecting this element, I have to append that element. I have to append that element node. Element node means the li, whatever we have created now, inside this ul class. Okay. So first, what we have to do, what is the first task we have to do? We have to select the, wherever we want to append it, like wherever we want to insert it as a child of that element. First, we have to find that element. Okay. So what we can do, we can write const ul is equal to, what we can what we can do, we can use, first we have to see HTML, that how we can find it. Look, if I will use for ul tag, then also, since it is the first ul, we will find it directly. Are you getting my point? What are the ways to select it? First way is that using this class also I can select it. So we have a class name here, this. So what I can do, document.query selector, and this is the first this we have as a class name. So we can use document.query selector. And inside this, I can use dot. Okay. And then what can I do? You can watch this element. So now you can see I have this first. This is the created one. Li has anything means ID is anything, and the class name is created. Now you are seeing it, the ul dot this. Look, from where this console is coming, it always says here. Okay, you, as a tester, you should know this. Okay, so it says lecture1.js in this file at 65, at line number 65. This is console log is coming from here. You can see this also by clicking into this. Okay, it is coming from here. So to getting from where you are getting an error, you can click on this and you can see which code we are getting this kind of errors. Okay. So you can see we have right now what we got. We got this element. It means we have selected this element UL with one this. What is the another way? Like if we will use directly instead of this, if we will directly use the element UL, since what it will do, if we will do query selector and tag name, then what it will do, it will find the first UL element. So what is the first UL element? It is again the same. So using this also we can select, we can target this UL and we can select this. So can you see again we are getting this UL this. We got again, isn't it? So you can select in multiple ways. Guys, are you there? We are on the same page or
Yeah.
Yes.
if possible for you guys, then please like always like turn on your camera so that I will come to know that okay, we all are in the same page. So now we have what we can do as we have found it. Now I want to append whatever the this id we have created, element id, element node. I want to insert it inside this ul element. Okay, so for that I already told you what is the like property, like method we have, append child. So what I will do in ul, what I will do, I will append a child. Where I am appending? I am appending a child inside this UL. So what I am writing, UL dot append child. What is this UL? This UL is nothing. It's a variable. Here in line number 64, we have this UL variable. And what it, obviously, if it, what is a variable? Variable is a container. Means it must be containing something. So what it is containing? It is containing like whatever we have selected. So it is containing an element, UL element. The first UL element of our file, it is contained. So inside this, what I'm doing, ul dot append child, and I can write here whatever. What is this element? The element we have created. Okay, and then you can do console. Control. Okay. You can see this is the created element we got with the green color. Can you see this? Here we have created the element called we have created one li element. Inside that we added one class name, then we added one id name, then we changed the color to green, and then we added one text called this is a created element. Then we appended that element as a child inside this ul element. Then can you see here in the here we are getting right now in the screen, this is a created element at the last. Is this visible to you guys?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So Zana, right now you explain me what is the whole process of like creating an element and then adding it into adding it into our DOM. Just in the
So
plain.
whenever we want to create an element, we can say create element and pass the class name, for example, and then
What is the class name like when we say create element? What kind of element? We can?
huh?
When we say create element, what kinds of element we can create? What are the? Can you give me some example? Okay, I can create this element. I can create that element.
I can create, for example, parent element.
Is there any parent element in HTML?
I can append child.
But in order for me to create an element, I can say just create element and give it a class name or tag name.
No, my point is that while creating the element, what kind of element you can create? What is the meaning of element? I explained here right now 4 or 5 times. What do you mean when you say element? Like for example, when someone asks some question to other guys, like suppose if I ask Andrew, like, hey Andrew, are you rich? Then he can say that, okay, what do you mean when you say rich? Because rich, everyone has their own meaning of richness. Someone has money as a richness, someone has love as a richness, someone has life as a richness. Okay, similarly, that's what I'm asking. What do you mean when you say element? I explained many times what is the meaning of element. Andrew, can you?
Yeah, it can be any tag.
Any tag, any HTML tag, it can be div, it can be span, those kind of elements you can create. Okay. I hope this is clear to you guys. If I'm like repeating something 4 or 5 times, it means that it is like required. Okay, so node object in DOM, that is HTML file append child. So let ul, what we are doing here, we are creating one. If we are selecting one element from our DOM, that is ul. Okay, select the first ul whose class name is this. So I have told you using this, using class name also we can select it, using tag name also we can select it. There are many multiple ways. Or what you can do, instead of doing all this, you can anyway, you can go here and you can also assign some ID to this. Not a big deal. Right, I'm assigning ID equal to first U. I can also again target the same thing using ID. So instead of this document dot query selector, so instead of this document dot query selector, what I can use, get element by ID. Okay, and what is the ID we have provided here? First UL. We can copy this. Same thing will happen. So you can see the same thing. Like there are multiple ways we can select an element, so you can choose any way. Got it, na? So ul dot append child element, added element in ul which has class name this. We can see the changes in the browser, not in the HTML VS Code file. As we are like, you can see we don't have this this element anywhere in our code base. Can you see? This is created element. We don't have this in our HTML file. So you can see we don't have here. We have my dreams list of A is this, but we don't have here one li which says, we don't have any li which says that this is a created element. Don't have something like this in our code base, but still we are getting this. This is a created element. So what we are doing, we are directly adding one element to the DOM. We are not writing any code for that in our HTML file. Okay. If you will save it, then it will also appear. So you can see now this is created also, and then we are getting this. So it is not in our HTML file, it will directly, so we can console and we can see it in the DOM. So now we can, like what in the beginning I told you, there are two ways we can create a node in our DOM. First is create element. So we learned how we can create an element, how we can append that element, how we can add that inside our DOM, and then there is a create text node. But it won't create any element. This create text node is not capable of creating any element. It can only create some text node. So what is the use case of this? Okay, so here you have seen that I have done element dot inner text hello everyone. So instead of doing this, like at that time I did, this is a created element hello dot inner text here. If you remember, here what we did, element dot inner text. Okay, so instead of this, what I can do, I can create a text node. Okay, I can create a text node, and then I can append that text node as a child to this element. That will also give us the same output. Are you getting my point? What I did, what I am trying to say? That instead of doing this element dot inner text, what else we can do? We can create a child node, and we can append that child node in as a child, and we can append that node, that what we say, text node as a child inside this element. With this is a created element, then it will also give us the same output. Okay, let me show you this thing. So here what you can do, the same thing we are doing, but right now here it is written this is a created element. So let me remove this for now. So you can see we won't be getting anything here right now. You can see we have only one dot, but we don't have any text here. Okay, is this clear?
Yes.
So we can use this create text node method. I already told you, whenever you see this parenthesis, it means it's a method. Okay. So what I can do, I will do this. Right now what I'm doing, I'm creating one text node. Okay, this will create a text node. Okay, this is created a text node. Now what I can do, I can do console log text also. What we can do. Now if I will refresh it, so you can see I have created this. I am a text node, isn't it? So I've created this and I'm consoling it and I'm getting it. Now what I can do, but still here it is empty. And now I want to show this text. I am a text node here. Then what I can do, I can append this text node inside this element node. So what is the way to do that? The way to do that is I can directly write element dot append child. Where first what you have to write, the element where you want to append, like which element child you as a child you want to insert into which element. For that element name you have to write here. So we have already stored it into our element variable, so I'm writing element dot append child, and here I can write text. Why I'm writing text? Because this text is, we have created a text node. I am a text node, and we are storing that inside a variable called text. Okay. Now, if you will see, so you will see the same thing. Now, can you see here we are getting I am a text node. Earlier we were getting this is a created. Okay. Got it? And suppose if you will, after this, if you will put this Control C. After this, also you can change it. Now, what should we get? This is I am a text node, or this is a created. Why? Because as I told you, in all the programming language, the code always execute from top to bottom. So in line number 62, it will append the child as a text. So we should see I am a text node. But what will happen at line number 65? It will change again this text to this is a created element. Got it, bro? Are we on the same page? Any issues? Please ask, guys.
No issues.
No issues.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So what you guys can do? So are you all on the home or still traveling? Someone?
No, I'm home.
You are at home. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you guys do? You guys have that HTML code. Okay. So now what you guys have to do? You guys have to create one, like create one text node. Okay. Add some ID class, and without looking at online, you have to do it now. If you have to ask anything, I can show you the PPTs here. I will share. So the last class PPT, I hope you guys have received, isn't it?
Yeah.
DOM. And this one also I hope that you will see, or I will add it here somewhere. So right now you guys can like create something and show me that okay, I did this. You have to explain like okay, this is the element I have created, then I have targeted this element and I have inserted it inside this element. Do that, and out of both of you, someone can share your screen and do, and the another person can do it by themselves. Okay. So in
Okay,
your please,
I have an error. Document is not defined.
Show me that screen. Share the screen.
Can you see it?
No.
Oh,
Okay, let me
no,
show
1
you.
second.
Let me show you.
Can you see it now?
Recording in progress.
Ghana, you were joined from mobile last week, isn't it? Can you get out from at least here? Leave. So where is the error coming? Document is not defined. Very select. Why it's coming like this? Go to index.html once. So it's index.js only. Now. Go to the top. Yeah. We have a div with class container. And what we are doing, go to that part, index.js. Yeah. Go to index.js. Document.query selected. First, what you do only console log container and see. Remove that first element child. Yeah, for no, remove this. No, remove this first element child. Leave it line number 1 as it is. Remove the first element child. And just no, only first element child. Yeah.
Leave container?
Yeah. Just I want to see console log container what you are getting.
The same.
It's in document.query select. Document is not defined. Why it says let me search for it. Can you see? So this is you are getting in the Visual Studio Code or in the browser also? In the browser only, na? You can check in the browser once. What you are, go to console. Always use console. Don't use this IDE ones. Okay. Can you go to console? We have element recorder, then we have console. Na? Click on console. Refresh it. Can you see you are getting this div with class container at the top of console?
Yeah, I see.
So that is what it's. You are using ID. You are running there only. That's why. Moving console and screwing everything. Okay, now you can do container dot first child whatever you want to do. You can do and check whether the changes are reflecting here. Not here, in the code only. How I was doing, I was writing my code here, then I was changing those things. Na? I was refreshing every time.
First element child.
You can check for anything. You can say, look, you are getting one div with ID first child in the output. Yeah, so anyway, you are, I think you went with the go live, so it's automatically refreshing.
Oh, so do I just close it? Here?
Yeah. So right now, what I'm asking you to create some child, not what I did exactly, anything. You have to create one element and you have to insert it inside another element. Okay.
Okay.
Zana, can you share your screen for once? Let me show you. So you were connected from the mobile. Right now you're connected from your desktop or laptop. Zana, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, but
Ah,
I'm still creating it.
You are creating it?
Yes,
Yeah, share your screen, please.
1 second. Andrew, can you please share me this?
You don't have this code, Jana?
Yes, I lost it for some reason.
Like in the Slack, I have provided this codes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Send in the chat.
So in the last, whatever we did in the last session, how you practice that?
Last session only, I was only watching it.
So after that, you didn't revise it?
No, I haven't got a chance to revise.
Okay, okay, it was a Christmas time. Yeah, got it.
No.
Okay, you guys can do the setup. We will meet after 15 minutes. Okay, we will take one break. Is that fine for you guys?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Today, like you were coming from office or it was a holiday?
Yeah, I was coming from office.
There was no holiday today?
No, there's no holiday today.
Okay, guys, I can understand the situation. You guys can take 15-minute breaks. Then we can connect. It's 7 here, so not 7 exactly. It's 6:56 here. We'll connect around 7:10 or 7:15.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Don't search for anything in the online. Whatever you can do, you can do.
Yeah.
Are you guys back? Andrew, Zana, am I audible?
I'm here.
Zana, you didn't hear it.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. You didn't ping. I asked whenever you guys. Okay, so like, your code is set up now, Zana.
Yes.
So you can. Andrew, are you working on it?
Yeah, I'm done.
You're done.
Yeah.
Okay, we will first see that. Zana, can you share your screen? Show me what you did. Did I teach you guys this add method, dot add, something like that?
No, but I wanted to add.
You were using ChatGPT?
Yeah, searching online.
What I do you, Andrew, did I say this thing that please guys don't look for anything online? Like that was my instruction or not?
Oh yes, I have created the element and then appended, but I just wanted to see.
No, that's fine. But did I instructed something or not?
No.
I have not instructed that please don't go use on, don't search online, anything like that. Okay, no issues. Can you show me the output? What you are doing? You are creating a first child document.create element div. Okay, Zara, go to the what you say HTML file of this page. Yeah,
HTML?
go down. How it won't work now? Can you show me the output? It should not work.
Yeah, it's not working.
How it will work? What is the issue? Can you tell me, Zara? Forget about the code. It's not even working. Can you do console log first, even show me? What is the issue? Like, don't run here. I already told you that run in the browser and open the console. What it's saying. Read the what it said. First error at the top. You can see whenever I explained, console.error, console.warn. So console.error will always come in the red color. So you can see at the console, you can see there is a red color errors. So what it says, first error.
Failed to server responded to a status index.js for.
Yes, it means that index.js file is not working. Now find out why it's not working. Go to your code base, Visual Studio. Why it's not working? Look, go to the HTML index.html. Can you see? Go down, go down. Can you see how you have written the script tag at line number 45? Yes, what you have written in the SRC. What is SRC? SRC gives path to access, and your error is saying that it's unable to access. Why? Because it is not directly index.js. It is inside JS folder. Are you getting my point? So your SRC path is wrong. Everything else is fine. What it should be js slash index.js like that. Why are you writing DOM and all this stuff? I don't understand. What it says. Why are you writing in slash before that here?
Write one dot before that JS. First write one dot, then you can try with double. Go to where are you referring?
Huh?
Go to the Visual Studio Code. Write dot before this JS double dot. Try with single dot once. Still the same issues.
Maybe just move that file to the same folder.
Yeah, you can move, but even it should work. That's not an issue. Let me
Yeah, and
quickly see.
remove that JS.
Is it working now? What you
Yes.
have done? Can you show me once your Visual Studio Code? Okay, you moved it to the same place. Okay, go to the JS folder once. No, JS folder.
There's nothing there. I moved the JS here.
Okay, that's fine. No issues. Though you can put it inside the JS folder also. It should work. Okay, no issues. Okay, it is working for you right now. Okay. Now, what you are doing? Explain the code.
So I'm creating one variable and declaring one variable.
Zana, what you can do first, delete all this code. Press backspace and delete everything. Everything. Hmm. Now, what I am asking you to create one element first. Create any element. Create one li element, list element.
li element.
Yeah, li element. Li list. Don't use any suggestions right now. You need to type everything. Okay. While learning, don't use those anything, whether be it AI tool or something like this, suggestions. You have to put it inside the quote, like either double quote or single quote. Okay, now you can console log this li element and you can see whether you are getting this element or not, whether this element is created or not. How you will check? You will console log this element. Yeah, you can use double also, that's not an issue. Now console log this. Console log, first you are not consoling. Why are you doing here? You can write it there also. So you are getting it, isn't it? That's fine. No need to refresh, I think you have heard of live code. Now what you have to do, add one class name, one ID to this li element. Whatever element you have created, add one class name and one ID to this.
Okay. So I have this li element
Hmm.
and
No, no, what are you doing?
Oh, just give a class name?
I am asking you to add one class name, one ID to it.
Okay. Like a text content?
I am asking you to add one class name. Like we have class names for all the, you can go to index.html. Index.html. Yeah, go to index.html. You can see, go at the top. Yeah, you can see here for all the li we have some class, na child ul, child ul. So you have to create the same way, whatever li you have created, you have to assign one class there as a create. You can write that class name as created. Similarly, you have to add this class there.
Mm.
Now go to your index.js and you can add the properties. I already explained the properties very simple. You can add whatever element you have created dot class name. Okay. Dot class name equal to. Now what you are doing, assigning a value dot class name, you are writing li dot element dot class name equal to. What is this equal to? Equal to is an assignment operator. You are assigning this child, this value called child in the li element dot class name. So this is the meaning of this code, that you are assigning a value called child. Where are you assigning? You are assigning it into li element dot class name. Yeah, child name, anything. Yeah, child class. Then you can like cut that line number 2 and put it after line number 4. Now check. You must go look. Now you are getting with a class, child class. Similarly, add one ID to it. Entry, you also do the same. Right now, what I'm asking, like create the same things by yourself.
Oh, I have created the element.
Same way, you have created the element. You have added class name, ID, and some properties to it.
Oh, only style. Only
Okay.
one. Yeah, only style. That's it.
Okay, so set attribute you use, isn't
Okay.
it? Or you use directly dot style dot color like that.
What style?
Not that one for. In the last class, I taught you we can provide style like this: li element dot style dot color. Okay, like that you can provide. This is one way: li element dot style dot color. Okay, equal to whatever color you want, green, blue. Not like this. You have to keep it inside the quote, double quote or single quote. Save it and go to your. Open it. What you're doing, go to the your code console. Fine. Wait, go to your console. Have you saved this code?
Huh?
Have you saved the code or not?
Yes, I have saved it.
Yeah, so you can check there. You must be getting this. Okay, with red. So you can set the attribute. Like you can see, you are getting this style color red right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So there now, instead of doing this we learned in the past class, last class. Right now, what you can do instead of doing this, you can use you can use the method called set attribute. Okay, and assign the same. Just comment this code. Not this complete code, only this color part. Yeah. Now you can assign one color using set attribute property. Yeah, set attribute method. Now this what I told you, not like this. Didn't I teach that set attribute is a method, and when I say method, it will always have parenthesis and it will always take parameter. Didn't I explain that the set attribute property will take two parameters? First is the key, second is the value. So what is the key for inline CSS of styling? Key is style. We write style equal to, then we write something. Then key is style. Okay, you have to put everything inside either single quote or double quote. Style is the key, and what is the value? Comma, then put comma for each. Yeah. So what you want to put? Not red. What is red? Color is red. So you have to do color colon red. What the way you write inline CSS, the same way you have to write here also. Okay. Save it. Refresh it once. Look, are you getting again color red? So since earlier was also red, so you can change it to green and check whether that is changing or not.
Yes, it's changing.
It's changed, okay. So till now you did here, okay. You have created one element, you have added class name, ID, and some attribute using set attribute to the element. Now create a text node. Create a text node and append that text node inside this li element. I teach you how we can create element, how we can create. No, this is the text node will be a totally different node. Now you can't create using li element. It's again a node. This li element is a node. Same way that is also a node. Yeah. Not create element. Create text node.
Okay.
Under single quote or double quote, you can write anything, any text there. And a text node will be created with that text. Now you can console log the text also. Are you guys getting? You guys are like getting confused when you have to put single quote, when you have to put double quote, when you have to put quote, when you don't have to put the quote marks. So for that, the only thing can help you is code without any AI tools. Like by yourself, you will make mistake and you will see. So you can see at the top level you are getting this text. Okay, refresh it once. Have you saved the code? Yeah. So you can see you are getting this text now. Okay. Now append this text node inside this. You can see in this li element, li element is starting and li element is getting closed. We have it li open element tag and close open li tag and close li tag. We don't have any text inside this. I want to put a text inside this. This whatever node you have created, you have to append this to the li element. Henry, are you with us?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Save it. You always need to save. Now you can see the change. Now you can see you are getting a text node there inside tag. You are getting one text. So you have appended this text node inside the li node. Okay. Now what I want this text node to come after is. Are you getting my point?
After what?
After like wait, let me see. After this, what we say, child one, inside child one, we have this. We have a list. And not go to your index.html. Yeah. So here we have this li child ul, we have these classes. Na? So you have to target this ul element and ul element at line number 14. You have to select this ul element And you have to append this li inside this real element.
Okay.
For appending, first you have to select that element, isn't it?
Yes.
So first you have to select this real element. For selection, what are the way you know that? You have a query selected, you have a get element by ID, you have a multi-selector, everything. So the way you want to select it, you can select it. And have you appended the text node inside the main element? Main
Uh,
that element created?
yeah, but I created div inside this is dummy div one.
Yeah, that is also fine, no issues. You can create any kind of element and you can add some text node to it and you can insert it inside any other another parent node. That's not an issue. Why are you inserting this text node? I'm not getting it. Give me the reason.
I don't need to.
No, if you will insert this text node, then only what is your text node? You have to insert the element. What I asked you, you have to append li element inside UL inside this UL. If you will append text node, then it will only
Okay.
consist of text. Nah, it won't be an element. What UL element takes? It takes inside it an li elements. Yeah. Yeah. Save it and check. Look, their text node is coming with green color or not in your browser.
Oh, yeah, it's coming in green color.
Okay, got it. So this is what. Can you, Andrew? Can you say your screen once?
What?
Guys, please like whenever I code, you guys also code along with me, because this is not we are not watching Netflix. Okay, so what you did?
Can you see it?
Parent, yeah, I can say. So you have selected parent document dot query selected no. Then you have created one child document dot let child you created one child. Let child equal to document dot create element div. Okay. Parent dot append child. This is fine. Child dot inner text equal to inner div. This is fine. Child dot set attribute style color red, background color light blue. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so you are understanding now how we can give more than one attribute to it, color, like how style property works, same way this will also work. Okay. So
Mhm.
basically this set attribute is similar to inline CSS. We have we have three ways to add CSS in our HTML, isn't it? We have one inline where we will write inside the tag our all the attributes. Second way is what we say. Second way is internal, where internal CSS. What we do there inside the head tag where we start head. So and before closing head, we write one style and we create one object and we write all the properties there. The third one is external CSS. Like you create one style.css file and you write all those CSS there in using class and ID, and you directly like import that CSS file into your HTML file and you can use that external CSS, isn't it? So this set attribute will work as an inline CSS. This you have to remember. Okay.
Mhm.
Then font size 12 pixel. Then you're writing child dot class name, inner class, child dot ID, inner ID. Okay, this is fine. Yep. Inner text, like what you can do and instead of using inner text, can you create one text node and put that inside the like child element?
What is the method to create?
No, first, why are you writing child dot?
Ah,
It's-
yeah, I
this
see.
you have to store in a variable, na? Then only you can append it to the child. Don't use suggestions. And now append this text node inside your child element. Don't use suggestions.
But it comes automatically.
Yeah, but you can type. You can look at that, but you should type in the beginning while learning. Isn't it? Like right now, we don't have to finish some task within some deadline. So while learning, you have to. The more you will type, the more you will remember the syntaxes. So that is the. So is it working now? Is it working?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. So shall we move ahead? I think if these things are clear to you.
Say it again.
Shall we move ahead? Shall we go further?
Yeah, yeah.
We have few topics.
Yeah.
left.
Start sharing.
We covered this set attribute, adding a created node. Now we will use this is also done, create text node. Now we will see how we can replace some nodes. Okay. So replacing an element, let's just replace just created element in DOM. Okay. So what you can do, uh, um, like what you guys, let me tell you the this uh, what we say, this is the method replace with. Okay, now what both of you do using this replace to, what you have to do right now, the element you have created one li element. Okay, now what you do, you create another li element with some different text. Okay, you create one another li element with different text and replace your previous li element with the latest one, with the newly one created. Got my point?
Mm-hmm.
So what will be the syntax? Let me tell you the syntax. Here, the element that you want to replace, that will come. Okay, element, whatever node you want to replace, that will come at the first. Then you will use dot replace with. Then inside the parenthesis as a parameter, you have to pass the element that from which you want to replace. Like the one you want to add, that will come as a parameter, and the one you want to remove will come as a, like you have to select it first. So you will select element whatever you want to replace, and then you can use dot replace with. Okay, then you can add the new element that you want to replace with the previous one. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
So any one of you, like Zaner, are you understood this?
Yeah.
So any one of you, like share your screen and do this. I will see. Both of you do, but any one of you share your screen.
Can share.
Yeah.
Can you see?
No, let me stop.
Yes. we can see.
Don't use write yourself.
You set a lie?
Not always li. You can, since you are using div now, you can replace that with span.
Replace your div tag with span. Yeah. Add some new text to this again. You have text, you can add text to, or new text, something like that you can create.
Mm.
Let new text like that. What are you doing? I'm not asking for inner text. No, no, no. Don't
What,
use this.
what do you
This
ask?
we learned already. I'm asking you to create one child text node and add it inside this. Create one text node.
Oh,
and
okay, you want me to do everything again? Like comment everything, do it
No,
again?
no. What I am asking you, currently you are saying this, showing this inner text, like this, whatever element you have created, you are showing this below this. This is dummy div one, isn't it? What
Yeah.
I want you to replace this div element with the span element that you are creating right now. Okay, and what I want, this span element should have some text inside it. For that, I want you to create one text node and append it inside the new element, and then using that new element you have to replace the this div element whatever you created that time.
You want me to replace this element with new?
No, I want you to replace this inner text. Yeah.
Oh, the inter. Okay.
Yeah, but before that you have to add some text into this span.
I think that's what I did.
But that's what I am telling, that you can't use inner text here. You have to create new element, like you can use
Oh, you want me to use create
text node.
node?
Text node, yeah. Though you can use inner HTML, inner text also, but for the practicing purpose, we are like ignoring those things. Good.
Text node.
Yeah. Don't you think there is some issue? The issue is that till now you have not appended the new text node with the new one. Like you have not appended the text node in the created element.
Okay. So I can replace directly?
No, yeah, you can replace directly, but first you have to add you have created a text node in line number 12, isn't it? Where are you using that?
Yeah, I have to add to
You have to do a
uh,
new one dot append child new text or not. What you are doing, can you see in the line number 3 what you are doing?
yeah, I see, but do I add to D1?
No, why you want to? You have to replace this child element only, and you are replacing that. This is fine. You already replaced. Can you see it? Line number 14, you have replaced this child element. What is this child element? This is the child element that you have created in line number 2. That is a div element. Okay. In line number 2, you have created this child element. Now you are replacing that child element with the new element, which is you created at line number 11. That is new E1. This is fine. My point is that you have created a text node at line number 12, that is new text, and you are not using it anywhere. You have to append that new text inside
I see.
inside the new E1. Are you getting my point? That's why we are not getting any text in the browser right now.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, now save, like look, now you can see new text is coming. And why it is coming directly there? Can you tell me the reason? Earlier it was in the new line, but right now it is coming in the new text. Why it is coming like this?
Because span is inline, I think.
Yeah, span is an inline element. Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is fine. And suppose if you want to, what we say, this is fine for now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Zana, are you done with this?
Yes.
Show me your screen.
Yes.
And do you understood the concept completely?
Yeah. I forgot to
Uh,
append.
yeah, I'm just asking you guys to practice a little bit, like just write the same code 2-3 times so that you guys will be familiar with syntax. Okay. Like in the beginning, if you will practice, then you will come to know where like you can see everywhere, whether be it line number 12 or line number 11, whenever we have to write some method, what is the case that they are following? They are following the camel case. Can you see, starting with the small case letter, then once after create, it is coming one, what we say, capital letter E. So it is following the camel case. As I explained earlier, this we have camel case, snake case, kebab case, Pascal case, but in JavaScript, we use camel case. Whether be it append child, whether be it replace with any kind of method, whether be it create text node, everything here is using what they're using camel case. Okay, whether be it query selector, create element, append child, all this method are using camel case. Jana, can you share your screen once?
No, it's it was like append. Is it?
What is this? Why are you writing a string? What is that? Wait, Jana, don't go ahead. Look, what is the meaning of replace with? You have an HTML element. Element means any tag, div tag, span tag, any tag. Okay, and you replace with what? Replace with will do? It will replace the one element with the another element. Is this clear to you?
Mhm.
Okay, so the new text, whatever you will write earlier, that will get replaced. So right now, you can see you don't have any new text to replace. There is no new text. Right now, you have one element called li element that you created at line number 1. So what I ask you, you have different question right now. Okay, what you have to do, you have created one li element that you can see in the browser, and you have added one text node to it called child class. Show me the browser. So in the browser, you can see we are getting this text node in the browser
Mhm.
below my dreams. What I want you to create another li element. Okay, the same way you have created earlier this li element, and you have added one text node to it. Do the same thing, repeat it. Okay, first create one another li element, add some text to it with the help of text node, and then replace this text node, replace this element, whatever you are currently seeing in your browser as a text node, which is coming in green color. Replace this element with your newly created element. Is this clear to you?
Yes.
Yeah, do that. Don't like he was replacing D. Okay, you have to replace your Li element. So from line number 15 to line number 19, you can delete. Now, look, what is a programming? It is a set of instruction, or what we can say algorithm. Okay, so I explained you the algorithm. What is your algorithm step? First, you have to create one new li element. This is it of your first step. Second step, create one text node. Third step, append the text node inside your newly created element. Fourth step, replace your previous element, that is li element, which is created at line number 1, with the latest element that you have created. You can do console log li second, and you can check whether that second element is created or not. And you can comment out the line number 10 console log. Also line number 8. So one li element is created. That's fine. So you can save the code in the console.
And now I have to replace this text.
No, before replacing, you have to append this text second to your li second or not.
Yes.
I is practice. Okay. Well, after like this project or once the 60% of JavaScript will be completed, then there will be a mock interview for both of you. Okay, so there will be 2 mock interviews for the JavaScript. Once we will complete the 60% of the course, and once we will complete the 100% of the JavaScript. Yeah. So keep realizing. Yeah. Fine. Now you have to replace the previous li element with this one, with li second. Don't use
Hmm?
don't use suggestions.
Element.
So you understand the code line number 18. What we are doing, the one you have to replace, that will you write first. So you want to replace li element, so you are writing that. Then you are doing dot replace with, means replace the li element with what? With li second. Okay. So now you can check in the browser. You can see you got the second text node. Now what I want you to change the color of this text, second text node to blue.
Okay. Mm.
Also, I want the background color of that as a red. No, same in the same code you can write. That is also a style property. Huh? After blue, you can write one what we say, uh, what we say,
Semicolon.
semicolon. Yeah, and you can add background property to it.
This is working.
You write your code first. You write your code. Yeah. So tell Andrew why he is getting this error.
Now the entire value is supposed to be in only one
Single quote.
clause.
Entire value of what?
Yeah.
After blue, you can remove the quote.
Yeah, remove quotes and before
Put
background.
semicolon, and before background color also remove the quote.
Okay.
And put semicolon between both. You got my point? That's why I'm asking you guys to practice, okay? Now you can check this. And you see we have a background color in the green and we have a text node with the blue color. Okay? Okay. So we move ahead. We have very less time left. Guys, I will expect that you guys will do practice by yourself, like in the class. Though I will do the coding part with you guys, but like it takes some time. So you understood this replacing whole concept, isn't it? Replacing an element. So you learned this concept. Now we will go next. So replacing a child element. Okay. So what you can do, like you can replace any child element with the help of what you were using earlier, replace with. Instead of replace with, you can use replace child and you can replace any child of that. Are you getting my point? Here, the first argument will be the one node that you want to add by replacing the other, and the second node, the one node you want to replace. You got my point?
Mhm.
You got my point or not? Go to your code and anyone share your screen. Zana, you only share, we will see.
Okay. Oh, why share? Sorry. So if replace child,
Yeah.
if I have
Go to from your go to index.html. Yeah. Go to index.html. So look, whenever we have to replace a child, you can see what are the child we have. Okay. Look, for the div container, we have 4 divs inside this. Just close the div container, collapse that Visual Studio. Yeah. Can you see? It starts from ID first child, and you can see there are 4 divs inside this. Now open, expand it. So after expand, you can see for this div class and container, we have 4 main direct child. Okay. There, look, div with ID first child have their own child like UL, LI, all those things. Okay. But what are the direct childs of container, div container? We have one div with ID first child, we have another div with class child, we have another div with class child and red, then we have last child with the class child. Okay. Now suppose I want to replace this div element, the last, you can see the last one, 24, line number 24. Now I want to replace this, not the last one, 23. Okay. What is it? Mm, you want to replace, like, suppose, add one id add one id to this one, what we say, line number 23. In line number 23, add one id with the space id equal to given id. Third child, you can mention is third child. Okay. So now you want to replace this third child with something else, with some other element. Okay. So you can use the what you say, you can use the child, like replace child element also. Okay. What you can do, you can create an element, you can create another div, create one. Now your task is to create one div. Okay. And then you have to select this container. Okay. And then in container you have to replace the child, this third child, line number 23. You have to replace this third child with your newly created div. Okay. So your task is create one element. That element should be a div. Add some inner text to it without using text node. You can use direct inner text later on. First create an element that should be div. And did you also do?
Mhm.
create element, and do we say this is gonna be a div, so it will be div.
Obviously, yeah. So you can console log the div element and you can check whether you are getting that or not. I told you what we will be using console log in the first class for debugging purpose, to check the values and all those stuff. So you see, you are getting one div, fine. Okay. So what is the next task? You have to add some text. For adding text, you have two methods. Either you can create one text node, you can append to the div element. Second way is you can directly add div element dot inner text and add some text. So you can use the second way for now. Div element dot inner text and add some text to it. You can say that this is the new child.
The new child.
Hmm.
Okay. And after that,
Now,
to replace.
Now you have to replace that one. So there is one way, like you can directly use replace method and you can target that element and you can replace that. That is one way. But right now we are practicing. Okay, you already learned how to replace an element with each other, isn't it? With the help of replace way. So there are two ways to do it. Right now, if you will go to index.html. Okay, so now there are two ways. Okay, one way with the help of replace with what we have learned correctly. So what I can do first, I can select this 23 line number 23 element, that is div, with the help of document.get element by id and store it in some variable. Okay, what I will write, uh, element to be replaced, let element to be replaced equal to document.get element by id third child. So I will get this, and this will be in my new variable called document to be replaced. Okay, element to be replaced. Okay, now what I can do, I can do element to be replaced dot replace with, and whatever newly created one we can put that and it will get replaced. That is one way. But right now we are learning how we can remove the child. So what you have to do, first you have to select the line number 11 container. Okay, you have to select this div, and then you have to write what you will select it, and you will store it in a variable, and using that variable you can write that variable name dot replace child, and then you have to pass two parameters. The first parameter will be the one you want to add. Okay, and the second parameter will be the one you want to replace. You got my point? Is this clear?
Yes.
Now do that.
And so I have to create element,
Why you have to create element?
store it. I mean, get it. Yeah.
Get it. Select, you can make select any, let selection select like that. Your variable name should be always meaningful. Okay, document dot query, you again, you guys are using, don't delete everything and write again.
Document.
With the help of id, what we use, not class. You have inside double quote or single quote, you have to write, I taught you na, for id we use hash, for class name we use dot, for paragraph, for tag we can directly write the tag. Why are you writing dot here? I am asking you to get it, like instead of query selector you can write directly, look here, you can write hash third child. Okay, or you can write directly, write document dot get element by id. Again you are using solutions. Okay, don't do that while practicing. While working you have to use all these stuffs. Okay, but not while learning. While learning, so you can see everything here is this only, what we say, camel case. So you can copy this third child and paste it there. And do console log of element container. Are you getting this or not?
Why I'm getting this? Because I thought I have to get that container and then replace.
So you just right now you find the container. Na? Now you have to replace the container child. Why are you using third child? That is the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, do it the way you are doing. No issues.
Okay, so then get element by
No, class name will give you, it's a multi-selected. Do you want to select multiple elements?
no.
You can use query selector, na? Or with the help of query selector, you can see, you can fetch container, isn't it? You can select container. Document.query selector, inside that, within within quotation, you can write dot container. Now you can check the element container by doing console. Refresh it. div element dot inner text is not a function. Go there at line number 24. You are look at the side there showing where are you getting this error at line number 24.
Mm.
Div element dot inner text. Is this the way to write the inner text? Is this correct?
Inner text.
Inner text equal to, like that you have to write. Are you getting my point? Inner text equal to. Inner text equal to. It is not a function, it's a property. You are setting inner text. This is not a method. You can use parentheses only for the methods. Yeah, it is as same as div dot style dot color. Are you getting my point?
Mhm.
So right now you can see you got this container. Now you have to replace the child of this container, isn't it?
Yes.
So what you can do? You have to write div dot this element container dot element container dot replace child. What we are doing? We are replacing the child. Replace child. Is this the spelling of replace child? Okay. Now it will take two parameters. First parameter is what you want to add. What you want to add? You want to add what you want to add, whatever you have created. What you created, div element, isn't it? So comma, the one you want to remove. What you want to remove?
I want to remove the third child.
Third child, then how you can target it? You can write document.get element by ID, and inside that you can write third child. So obviously you will get it, na? Inside that you can write third child. Now go there and check. Refresh it. No, you are still not getting. You get it. You get it. This is the new child. Yeah, this was we were. You got it? And we've done.
Yeah.
You understood?
Hmm.
Okay, fine. Let me share my screen then. Now I will just explain you and you guys have to practice, okay? Anyway, it's finished, not too much is there. So you learned how to replace a child element, okay? So similarly, first you have to only remember what these two arguments, what you have to take. First argument, element, the one node that you want to add by replacing the other one, okay? Second argument, the one node that you want to replace. So the node you want to replace, that will come as a second argument. The one you want to add will come as a first argument. Okay. And one thing more, second argument must be a child of the, suppose Zana, right now you have selected the container and you were removing by selecting it through document.get element by ID with third child. Okay. Now what you can try, Zana, you can remove that third child ID from that element and then you can try whether it is working or not. You got my point? You understood? It will throw error. Suppose you are searching for a child that you want to replace whose ID is third child. But suppose there is no child of div container which ID is third child. Then what will happen? It will throw error. Okay. You understood this? You should try it. How you should try it? Go to index.html, from the third child, remove that ID and then try whether it is working or not, or are you getting some error. Just try that now and tell me. And you also try and tell me whether it is working or not. What happened, guys?
You just said remove second argument.
No, not second argument. Share your screen.
So sorry, I didn't.
Please say yes. Let me stop mine. Yeah, what you have done?
Oh,
Mm,
you want me to create the
no, what you did to first explain me.
oh, okay.
Container target. This is document.get element by test.
Yeah, so I have created new div
Mm.
inner text equal new child. So then I created the parent. Parent is this element,
Yeah, fine.
and I have created target element, which is third child, this one,
Fine.
and called replace child method.
So is it working?
Yeah,
Okay, what you did. Parent to replace child. Yeah, this is fine. So instead of writing document.get element by test, you have first mentioned that you have stored it in a variable. That's it what you did, isn't it?
yes.
You got Jana what he did? You understood?
Yes.
Like instead of passing the second argument as dot get element by id test, what he did, he first he stored it in a variable and directly passed it in the second argument. This is fine. Now what I was asking you is just go to the target that wherever in the index.html wherever you have written id test, show me that line of code. Yeah, line number 23. Can you remove this ID from 23 now? Just remove this. Save it. Now see, you are getting an error. Fail to execute. It's saying replace child or node. Parameter 2 is not a type of node. You got my point? Because there is now what you are doing, you are searching, your target is you are searching for a child node whose you are searching for a node whose ID is that one, whatever you have written, test or something. But that doesn't exist. That's why you are getting an error. You understood my point? Second argument should be a child always. Whenever you will pass the target should always be a child element of whatever you are using. If not, then it will throw error. The error you are currently getting. So you can do Control Z and you can save it and you can put your code like that. Yeah, save it. Now the error will go. Understood? You understood the whole point. The point is that if you are passing some second element, the one you want to remove, and if it doesn't exist, then you will get the error.
Yes, this element must be a child of this one.
This one. This is what the whole summary. Yep. Is my screen visible to you guys?
Yes.
Yeah, we have learned how we can remove a child. Instead, like you can replace it, and also you can, if you want, you can remove it also. Okay, so you can directly use this method remove child. Okay, suppose Zanar, you share your screen. We will do practical here. So go to your UI first. Go to UI means a browser. Yeah. So what you want to do? Uh, I want to remove this. What we say? Uh, Here you are getting this is. After this, there is na in the list. Can you see the second element is?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to remove this. Okay. So first, what you have to do? What is this? This is a child of something. Child of what? Child of UL, isn't it? Li are the child of UL, isn't it? In the code, if you will look from the code perspective, Li are the child of UL, isn't it? Under UL, it is coming. UL is opening at line number 14, and UL is getting close at line number 20. So all the codes between line number 15 to 19 are the childs of UL, isn't it? Am I correct? Isn't it?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So now what I am asking, I want you to remove this is. Okay. So what you can do, you can use a method called remove child. And what this remove child will take, remove child means obviously we are removing child. Then first we have to write whose child we have to remove. For example, here, first you can select this UL. How you can select this UL? Select this UL, line number 14, with class this. So you can write document.query selector, and then you can write dot this. And you can select this UL first. In index.js. Zana, are you there?
Yes. So I have to store this. Firstly, give ID to this is.
No, not
Or
firstly. Why you need an ID? Right now, what we have to do? When you remove child, what is the method? Remove child. Okay. So obviously we are removing child of someone. Then whose child we are removing? We are removing the child of UL. So first you have to target this UL. First you have to select this UL. Okay. So select this UL. How you can select it? It has a class called this. So you can use document.query selector, and then you can write this dot this. It's all, you already use this name. You can write different name, UL element 2, like that.
document.
Anyway, you don't need to do these things. But in line number 12, look at the line number 12. You are already targeting this one, isn't it?
Yes.
You're already targeting this one, so you don't want it. So you just want to remove it from this. So what you can do, you can write UL element. Now you want to, whose child you want to remove? You want to remove the child from UL element. Then you have to write remove child. And what will be the remove child? Obviously, it will take camel case. Okay. Now in remove child, obviously you have to remove, means it will only take one parameter. Now you have to target the one which you want to remove. Now go to what you can do. You can write document dot get element by ID. You can add one ID there, and then you can remove that with the help of that. Go to that place, is provide one ID to this is, and that target it using that. Remove, you can add ID as remove something like that. And you can pass it there. Save it and check whether is coming currently or not. So you can see we don't have is here right now.
Yes.
You understood, Andrew?
Yeah.
Got it completely?
Mhm.
Okay, let me share my screen. Whenever we are saying remove child, replace with means we will be replacing one element with another one. But when we say replace child, obviously then we have to target the parent of that. So similarly, one note point is there. So we can only remove the child, we cannot remove the element, isn't it? So what does it conclude? It concludes that you can remove any element from the DOM except the root element. And what is the root element? When I taught you the node relationship, root element is HTML tag, because it doesn't have any parent element. Right now, Janar, what you did to remove an child element, first you targeted its parent, and the root element doesn't have any parent. Then you can't target its parent, so you can't remove that element, isn't it? Is this conclusion correct?
Yes.
Since root element doesn't have any parent, so you can't target its parent, you can't select its parents, then you cannot remove the HTML element, because you have only one option to remove the child. So now we have other properties also, like set attribute. You have seen the set attribute, isn't it? Similarly, we have get attribute also. So you can check, for example, you can select any element and you can check like whether this attribute exists in that, whether this ID, whatever the ID are there, whatever the classes are there, using get attribute also. Okay. Are you getting my point? What we used to do earlier, we used to find in the last class, I have taught you how we can see the class name, how we can see the IDs. Say there another way to see that, that is get attribute. Okay, you can select any element, then you can see dot get attribute ID, you can check their ID. You can do dot get attribute class, you can check their class. Okay, and has attribute will say whether it is with them or not. Okay, it will either return true or false. Suppose if you are suppose a div doesn't have any class. Okay, that doesn't have any class name. It is just a simple div, plain div. We have not added any ID, any class to it. And if you will check whether that element has attribute class or not, then it will throw you false, that it doesn't have. And if we have assigned some class name to it, then it will in the console you will see true, that yeah, it has some class names. You got my point? Understood?
Yeah.
You got it? Get attribute and has attribute. What is this get attribute? Earlier we used to see like we used to select some element and we used to write dot class name and we used to console and we used to store it in a variable and we used to console and we used to see what are the class name it has, isn't it? The same way using get attribute, you can check where you can select that element and then you can check element2 dot get attribute ID. Then you can see whatever ID it has. You can check the class name using get attribute. Okay. For has attribute, it will always return either true or false. It will check whether it has with that it has this attribute or not. You got my point? We can, if some suppose if some div has a class, then you can check whether that class exists or not, or if it exists, then it will then you can see in the console you will get true. If it doesn't exist, then in the console you will get false. Is this clear? We can also remove the attribute. Like if you want to remove some ID, you can use this remove attribute. Since I explained you, I showed practical you of few of these methods. Now tomorrow in the next class, whenever it will happen, you have to create one example of this. One for get attribute, one for has attribute, and one for remove the attribute. Okay, nothing. It's just a from an element. What is attribute? What is attribute, Jana?
Attribute is a property of
HTML element, isn't it?
Yeah.
It can be a CSS property, it can be ID, it can be class, but these are the attributes. Attributes means something like bonus, like what we add bonus on something. Okay. Similarly, we have one one method called remove attribute. Using this, you can remove the ID. If someone has something ID, then you can remove the ID of that element. You can remove the style of that element. Got my point? Okay. Now, in the next class, we will see event and event object in JavaScript. How we can add event listener on something. Like suppose I have selected something, and or suppose if I hover over some element, then we can write a function on that. We can perform some specific task on hover of something, on click of something. How we can do this? What are the events in JavaScript? Like on click, on double click, on hover, on mouse over, all those stuffs are there that we will see in the next class. So DOM is complete. Once we will finish this event and event object, then we can make one project. Okay. So is this clear to you guys? Still here, DOM?
yes.
Are you sure? Shall I start asking question now?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.